Denver 7 Now is sponsored by Ferguson and BAC Appliance Center, the best in bath, kitchen, and lighting for your home.
I'm Shannon Ogden with the latest from Denver 7. And if you watch Denver 7 regularly, you've heard us talk about Ty Tesoriero, murdered by his father Anthony 2 weeks ago, brainwashed to see his mother as the enemy before that. Anthony, the father, was so much a bully, social workers wouldn't even stand up to him, which raises such a simple question. How could a judge look that man in the face and not see him for what he really was? Well, for the first time tonight, we know she did. And then she gave him custody of his son for one last weekend. Here's Contact 7 Investigates' Jennifer Kovaleski.
It's September 20th at 9 a.m. We're in a Douglas County Division II courtroom.
I begged, talked to, can try to convince everybody to do something.
After 15 months of pleading for Department of Human Services, the courts, police to do something, Jing Tesoriero would finally get her day in court to fight for custody of her 10-year-old son, Ty.
We put all of the eggs in our basket on the hearing of September 20th. We were not going to fail Jing.
The court transcript shows Caroline Cooley was there as Jing's attorney.
What happened in that hearing?
It went very well for Jing.
And while it would go well for Jing, the judge's decision not to remove Ty from his dad's custody that Friday will end up playing a direct role in his murder.
I don't really quite get her decision on that. I really wish things were different.
Ty's dad, Anthony Tesoriero, killed his son and then himself 8 hours after the court adjourned at 5:21 p.m. Friday. Ty was murdered around 2:30 a.m. Saturday.
I shouldn't have been there in that house.
When Anthony lost, he decided to go after the one person who wouldn't fight back. He went after Ty, because that is what bullies do.
Judge Patricia Herron basically reads Anthony the riot act, telling the courtroom, "I'm angry. I have rarely seen this kind of alienation in any case, and it is really shocking. The damage that has been caused to this young boy is unthinkable." Herron goes on to say, at this point, the court finds Dad's credibility to be zero. What was the judge so angry about? The death threats, constant online harassment of Jing and her new husband, and many times Anthony violated his mandatory protection order. Cooley says Herron was the first judge to see Anthony for who he really was, but it wasn't enough to save Ty.
When the judge told Dad, "I don't believe you. You have no credibility. I can't believe what's happened in this case. This is going to change." I think at that point in time, the decision had been made by Dad.
Cooley would ask the court to have law enforcement take custody of Ty that day, telling the judge, "I am concerned that if there is an ulterior, if there is an order that the father does not like, we are concerned that he will abscond with the child."
Did you want your son to go with his dad that night?
No, we even told the judge more than once that we were worried. We were concerned for Ty's safety.
Court records show the judge had DHS Child Services at the hearing, and they were ready to have the child removed. But Herron tells the courtroom, "I am not going to do removal today. If it occurs, I'll do it first thing in the morning." Ty wouldn't have until the morning, and now Dad had a timeline.
She did anticipate an order being issued over the weekend for Ty to be removed. Within 8 hours, Ty was murdered.
And he lost. He lost, and he had to take Ty with him. It's the only thing he could control.
Ty's memorial is this Saturday, 3 o'clock at Logos Central Chapel in Centennial. Now, Ty's favorite color was red. He loved animals, so everybody's asking to bring bright colors, wear red, bring a stuffed animal, and the family will donate the stuffed animals to a domestic violence crisis center. A 5-hour closure is over at I-70 West near I-25 in Denver. It all began this morning in Strasburg when a man stole a car at gunpoint and then refused to stop, and that led to a police chase. Eventually, deputies boxed him in. This is near the Washington exit. Deputies and Denver police repeatedly told him to come out, fired non-lethal rounds at the car, and then moments later, he shot and killed himself. A Denver police officer has been fired after police documents claim he falsely accused the mother of his child of raping him. The department says he did it to avoid paying child support. The documents show that Samuel Shepard told his colleagues he was using prescribed medication and was incapacitated when that woman walked into his home and sexually assaulted him. He claimed that led to the child's conception. Well, Shepard apparently did not have his story straight. The timeline didn't match up with the baby's birth, and also text messages, police say, contradicted his account. Tonight, the Avs will take the ice and the Pepsi Center will be rocking, but for bars and for homes across Colorado, it's kind of like the game's not even happening. Here's Denver 7's Megan Lopez.
Step into the Blake Street Tavern, and it's easy to get excited about the Avalanche.
I just love the sport.
Owner Chris Fessele
I'm an original season ticket holder.
loves the team, and he has high hopes for this year, but already disappointment.
Are you guys bummed about the Avs not being on TV?
The game won't be showing on any of this bar's TVs until Altitude Sports reaches a deal with cable networks.
It sure puts a sour taste in my mouth personally.
And while the two groups fight over money,
I'm hearing negotiations are not going well at all.
the dispute is affecting this and other bars' bottom lines.
That's a huge loss of revenue. I have a really large staff, and I have to cut down my staff.
Fessele even reached out to the team to try to negotiate a deal just for his bar.
But they spoke to their attorneys, and their attorneys vetoed it, saying it would be against NHL policy.
A few miles away on Downing,
We've been here for almost 2 years.
the Sportsbook Bar and Grill Wash Park is still building up a customer base.
We pride ourselves in being a sports bar.
This avalanche ice out isn't helping.
It's pretty ridiculous right now.
Owner John Porter was relying on the team to boost business.
The Broncos, I mean, they can't get anything right now. So no one's really got interest in the home teams except for hockey and basketball. And that's what we can't show.
To McKinnon with a shot. He scores!
He too tried to talk to Altitude, but no luck.
Now we're hoping that they have a second favorite team that we can show.
These bars just want Altitude and cable providers to realize that this dispute,
It hurts everybody. Hurts the Denver economy.
for now, they're just holding out hope for a deal.
We're just trying to figure out when the adults in the room are going to figure it out.
All right, let's hope they do. Now, we did some things here and managed to get our own feed of the Avs game. I'm not saying that to brag, just to let you know, I promise we'll have highlights of the Avs game tonight on Denver 7 News at 10. This has been your Denver 7 on-demand update. Thanks for watching. We'll have another one later. Watch that one too. Also, download the Denver 7 app for breaking news and alerts. Go Avs. I'm Shannon Ogden.